Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to It's Still Real to Me. I'm your host, John Kucher, aka Johnny Fashion. With me as always, Big Bad Harmon. How are you, buddy?
What's going on? We got a lot of stuff to go over
Oh
tonight.
my god,
Lots of
so
stuff.
much stuff. It is WrestleMania week. Joining us also is the Gregulator again for the second show in a row. I like this trend, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
I'm ready to talk some sort of good WrestleMania.
You know, man, I always get excited for WrestleMania. I don't care that this looks like a pile of dog shit on paper. I love WrestleMania. How do you not get excited for WrestleMania?
I know,
As
I
a,
always do. It doesn't matter.
as a wrestling fan, this is what we look forward to all year, WrestleMania. So, and like I said, on paper, it looks like dog shit. The
Hey,
build.
last year's WrestleMania looked like dog shit on paper too. So
Yeah, that's true. And then old Seth Rollins came and saved the day. But God, that'd be amazing if something happened with him again. But I don't know. We'll see. So this is our preview and prediction show. We're gonna break down the matches here. We almost had another guest tonight, Dave Dyer. Our good buddy Dave was going to join us, but due to some conflicts with, I don't know, time differences and all kinds of stuff, he's literally on the other side of the country. We're in Maine. He's in Seattle, Washington. So, just wasn't going to work out. But last night he wrote me a extremely long just like memoir of WrestleMania and his thoughts and the breakdowns of the matches and stuff. So while we go through it, I'm going to read some of his little excerpts, and because it's so good. Dave's so talented, such a good writer. So let's get to it, fellas. Are you guys ready for this or what?
I am.
Any thoughts before we get into the actual matches? On a whole, Harmon, WrestleMania this year, what's your feeling going into it? We already said that we're excited just because it's WrestleMania, but just on a whole, what are you looking forward to without getting into too much specific detail? What are you looking forward to? What are you looking not forward to? What do you got?
I just think that it's not the same as it used to be. It kind of used to, wrap everything up. It was like the year-long payoff show,
Sure. The season
this
finale.
year, yeah. And I wish it was more like that, in this day and age of streaming video and streaming media, and you can sit down and watch a season all at once. It'd be nice if this was going to be like the last show for like 4 weeks, and then the next season was going to start up. That's
Sure. I agree. I'm right there with you, man.
I've been trying to watch more and more Lucha Underground, and just the way it's written as a series is brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, for sure. Greg, what about you? WrestleMania, what are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to? What are your feelings on this year's Mania heading into it?
Oh God, what's happening? I think that this WrestleMania is going to be two things. It's going to show the absolute stubbornness of, I don't know if you want to put Vince McMahon's head on it or however you want to say it, but his stubbornness with Roman Reigns. Nobody aside from, I think, probably Roman Reigns' family wants him to be champion. Not or like just a face champion. I think people would be okay with him being a heel champion at this point. But the way they're pushing him is the way that they're pushing John. They push John Cena at first, and unfortunately, I'm not a huge. I have my problems with John Cena, but Roman Reigns is no John Cena. Let's be honest. And
Yeah, let's call a spade a spade.
right, and so I think it's going to be the ultimate stubbornness that we didn't get last year because we got saved by Seth Rollins. But I really just think that this is that World Heavyweight Championship match is going to be a very straightforward, disappointing, no surprises. Roman Reigns takes it from Triple H. That being said, I do feel like there's going to be some pretty good stuff on the undercard. I'm really looking forward to Shane versus The Undertaker. I think there's going to be a lot of run-ins, surprises. I think that's going to be great. And then you've got solid performers, Ambrose, Lesnar, Owens. You've got a bunch of people on the undercard that are just going to put on great shows, and that's, I think you're going to get great matches until the main event. I mean, I don't think that Triple H versus Reigns is going to suck. I just think it's going to be disappointing.
Yeah. I'll say this before we get into it. I really am missing the prestige that WrestleMania used to carry. I mean, I remember, in the 90s, WrestleMania was a huge deal. I mean, they pulled out everything for Mania. It was red carpet, it was, Caesar's Palace, it was like all this stuff. And now it just seems like, especially this one, they haven't really done a great job building it, really any of the matches. And they had that weird roadblock, house show turned pay-per-view that really kind of threw a monkey wrench into everything. And I feel it kind of derailed some of the feuds that they had going, some of the storylines. So, I don't know, it's kind of weird to try and...
Roadblock was a really good show, I think, because it was done more like NXT style,
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. I think Roadblock was a great show, but, it didn't do anything to help WrestleMania. It was just a weird timing of it. Like, if you take that show and put it after Mania, that show is, possibly, show of the year. I thought it was great.
Like Payback?
Right, yeah, you just substitute for Payback, yeah. But, I don't know. Let's. I think Dave had a really good thing on it here. Let me just read it first, and then we'll get right into the matches. Dave says this has the potential to be one of the worst WrestleManias ever. How bad? WrestleMania 9 and 11 for older generations, and WrestleMania 27 for the younger generation. Bad.
Oh, is that the
what's a Yeah, I believe that's the one that Dave actually attended, and it was the Miz main eventing. Brutal. He also says, what's amazingly sad about this is that it will happen in front of the largest crowd to ever attend a WrestleMania, and it's almost certain the crowd in Dallas will surpass the 93,000, allegedly, that attended WrestleMania 3 at the Silverdome in Detroit. So... there's that. Good thoughts from Dave. Yeah, let's get right into the matches. Pre-show, we'll go through briefly. Kalisto versus Ryback.
Whoa.
What do you got?
We're not going to go over the Friday night matches at TakeOver Dallas at all?
No, we don't have time for that.
Okay.
We can do a separate TakeOver. You want to do a separate TakeOver after? How many matches are on TakeOver?
There's 6.
5, 6.
5?
6.
All right, you guys want to do it quick? You want me to turn this into a 6-hour podcast?
No,
we can do that.
We can just quick hit through. I can tell you the matches right now. Austin Aries.
Bring it. Who we got?
Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin.
Your boy Baron Corbin, huh?
I've got Corbin winning.
No, really? Austin Aries losing his debut? No way. I go Aries. Greg, what about you?
Aries as well. I don't see a debut for him where he loses.
All right. Harmon, next.
The Revival against American Alpha for the Tag Team Championship.
Oh. Greg, why don't you go first?
I like the Revival for the same reason that I hate the Revival. I hate them, but in a good way, like in a heel hate them.
They got the right kind of heat.
I don't know if you follow them on Twitter, but God, geez, I just want to just slap them, But it's not where like I hate them because they're a terrible character. I love their look. I love how old school they are. That being said, American Alpha is friggin' awesome. I mean, they are great in the ring. Both of those guys, I think, have a really big future. So. Revival's had the titles for a long time. I really see American Alpha taking this.
I do as well. I think they get the straps. It's funny that you mentioned Revival's Twitter because I recently retweeted something that they said that I thought was hilarious. Some dude was like, you guys are my favorite tag team of all tag teams, and one of them said, you like us more than Test and Albert?
No, the guy said, I like you guys better than any tag team in TNA. He's like, you like us better than Test and Albert?
Oh, is that what he said? Yeah, yeah. I thought it was a riot. I was like, what a weird reference. Oh man.
I have the Revival retaining.
You think so?
I think they're gonna let American Alpha chase a little bit.
I don't know. I'm gonna go American Alpha. The promo package that they had on NXT, which I know really doesn't mean shit, but I thought it was, it was all about failure, and it was all about, both of them failing in wrestling. Just like Gable at the Olympics and Jordan at like the collegiate level. And they're just saying failure's not an option, and I don't know. I could see them really living up to that. And those guys are so over, man. They're so over. So
it just seems like in the last year, though, like any of the babyface tag teams have had to really chase after the championship. I mean,
yeah,
you had Cass and Enzo never took it.
Never getting it. Yeah. Vaudevillains
the Vaudevillains had to become babyfaces. And they chased for a little bit before they finally got it.
Yeah.
And this is like American Alpha's first crack at it, so.
I'll say this though. I have a hankering that the Revival might be moving up. I think they were on the Roadblock card. They had a really good performance. Those guys are like really good in the ring. And I think that their mic skills are okay. They are what they are. They're not blowing anybody away with promos, but they're the brain busters, man. I think you stick a decent manager with them, and they're a very lethal heel.
I want managers back so bad.
I know, me too. Yeah, me too. I think they're a really good addition to the main card roster, and I think that might be the plan with those guys very soon. So I see it very possible that they drop the belts to American Alpha. So anyway, that's my deal.
Next up, we got Apollo Crews versus Elias the Drifter Sampson.
Oh, boy.
I see Apollo Crews just murdering this guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I see Crews going on a hot streak here. I think Crews is maybe next up for maybe not the champ after Balor goes, but definitely being like the face contender for the champ for the championship. So.
I think he's got to work on his presence and his mic skills and stuff, but he needs to be the guy replacing Sami Zayn. I think I
agree. Yeah, I agree 100%. So, and I think Sampson just, I don't know. I don't think he's terrible in the ring. I don't really get his gimmick. So I see Apollo Crews taking this pretty easily. Greg.
Guys, this is going to shock you, but I think that this should be a championship match. The championship of who I could care less about. Sampson, don't care. Apollo Crews, I want to care, but I don't care.
Yeah?
I really want to like Apollo Crews. He just doesn't do it for me yet. That doesn't mean that he won't at some point. That being said, I've heard the term that Sampson is getting Nickelback heat. So I think that I hope that Crews takes this match, and I hope he does. I hope they're not pushing Sampson past Crews, because while I don't care about either of them, I care more about Crews than Sampson at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then we got Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. Did I say that right?
Shinsuke. Yep, Shinsuke Nakamura. Man, dude, what a crazy matchup! Like, what a crazy thing that's happening in NXT right now.
This is gonna be my first Nakamura match, so I've seen little clips and stuff, but I've never watched an entire match. So this is gonna be my first time seeing him, and I think he's going to win. I don't think they're gonna let him lose in his debut to Sami Zayn on a guy who's going to the main roster. So,
yeah, no, I agree 100% with you. I think it's gonna be an amazing match. It will be. I mean, hopefully, if Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, how guys are gonna mesh well in a different, setting and stuff. But I think it'll be pretty dynamite if everything comes together like it should. I think it'll be dynamite. I think it will blow our socks off, and I agree with you with the finish. I think Shinsuke takes it, and Sami Zayn is just on the main roster full time. So.
2 days later.
Right, exactly, yeah, which is crazy. A crazy schedule for Zayn to do probably a lengthy match with Nakamura and then go do a ladder match at WrestleMania. So, but if anybody can do it, Sami Zayn can, as long as he cuts down his celebratory entrance and doesn't blow his shoulder out. So,
Doesn't get those arms up too high.
Yeah, it scares the shit out of me every time he still does it. He jumps on the steps and throws his hands up, and I just go, "Ugh, cut it out!"
Stop.
So, yeah. Greg, what do you think about this match?
I see Nakamura winning this match. This is Sami Zayn's swan song. He doesn't need the win, so I don't think he will win. So I think it's going to be a great debut for Aries and for Nakamura.
Excellent.
The next match is for the women's championship. Bayley versus Asuka. This is going to be Bayley's toughest test. Greg, what do you think?
I'm looking forward to this match quite a bit. I think that Bayley hasn't had any great competition since the other three horsewomen left the NXT roster, and I think this is going to be a fantastic match. I'm very anxious to see how these two are going to work together, and I'm anxious for the psychology because they obviously have two different sort of styles, but they're both very limber, very quick. So I think that this is going to be a great match. I see Bayley retaining still. I think this is going to be a long program, so I see Bayley retaining.
Yeah, there are two ways that I look at NXT championship matches now, and it's kind of unfortunate because NXT's kind of pigeonholed themselves in this way. So I always look at who's moving up, and then like what kind of makes sense. Like if WWE main roster didn't exist, if NXT was its own thing, and like these superstars weren't moving up, like how would it shake out? I think that Bayley would probably retain and spend some more time in NXT. I think probably not clean though. I think that there'd probably be like interference from Eva and Nia Jax or something. Maybe more Nia Jax than anything, and Bayley retains. But then again, I think if the plan is to move Bayley up, which I think she's probably ready, then I think she drops it to Asuka, maybe by the same result with some interference from Nia Jax and Eva. So either way, it really depends on like their plan for Bayley. But if I had to take a guess, I would say Asuka takes it and Bayley moves up. So that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think Asuka is like the Brock Lesnar of the women's division right now. It's like it's hard to picture her losing clean to somebody.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, God forbid, if she wins the championship, the girls that are down there right now have zero chance of ever dethroning her. She's gonna have to. Yeah. She's gonna have to just give it up because she's moving on to something else.
Yeah, and that's another thing that this could be its own thing, and I know we kind of always get like kind of log jam talking about this, but if you do move Bayley up, it's like who's kind of left. Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, I guess Eva Marie is still down there, even though she's gonna match at Mania. Like you can only kind of pluck away the top talent so much before you're left with like that B squad.
Well, you got
but-
Dana Brooke. She's getting better.
Yeah, she's getting good, and I don't know what
got-
Emma's future is down there, so I don't know, you know.
You
but-
got like Billy Kay and Peyton Royce that are going to start getting more TV time, I think.
Yeah, and they're getting better, and then they're still bringing in like independent talent all the time. Like I know Santana Garrett's been there, which, dude, if they could sign her like full time, God, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about that is that they bring these girls in to job, you know, which I mean is understandable. You know, why give them wins if they're not going to be around? But
well, they're kind of filling the Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa role, you know.
Who I love. Yeah.
Yeah, they're people they have good matches, and like with Deonna Purrazzo, they've had her. She's had what, like 3 matches now. She got beat by Asuka like twice, and
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out.
Well, we got the championship match right after that. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. I think Joe finally gets over in this one.
Yeah, I do as well. And pretty much for the same reasons that I just mentioned with the Bayley match. I think Finn's probably ready. I think that they're gonna have a big Bullet Club just debut after Mania. God, maybe even right on Raw the next night. That's what everybody's anticipating. Finn's been really throwing out like these very blatant tweets about it. So I think he gets moved up to the main roster very, very soon. And I think, yeah, he drops the belt to Joe. I think it's been a while, you know, since they've had a heel champ. Well, you know, Finn's had the belt for a while, but before that it was Owens. But it's been a while. Balor's had the belt for a while, so I think it'd be a good change for Joe to have it. So, Greg.
I'm going to make this a Super Devils 3-way and get in bed with you guys, and I think that, I think Joe is going to take this because of the very reason you just said, John. Something big's going to happen here with Bullet Club, or Balor Club, I guess is what it's going to be here, and he's main roster bound, man. He's got everything going for him. I can't wait for him to be on the main roster, and you know, I go through the matchups in my head, and I think it's going to be great. I'm hoping that he gets a shot with the Undertaker before the Undertaker's done, because I think that's going to be great. But yeah, bottom line, Samoa Joe, NXT champion, and I think that's a great move anyway, regardless of where Balor's going. I think that Samoa Joe needs to be champion because, I mean, he's legitimate, and it'll be a good move for NXT, and it'll be a good step for him to get to the main roster.
Yeah, totally. Well.
Yeah, Joe's going to win. I think it's just going to be Balor moving up, and it's going to be just the year of Finn Balor on the main roster, you know?
Rookie of the Year candidate, Finn Balor. Nice. Cool.
We can move on to WrestleMania 32. Let's just blow through the pre-show matches.
Yeah, there's really not much to talk about. I mean, there's been such crappy build in all of them, and so yeah, Kalisto versus Ryback. I honestly don't care. I think, and I hate when people say that. I hate when people are, I just don't care. But I kind of don't. Like, give me a reason to care. You know, like, I guess Kalisto retains. And I don't care if Ryback would become the U.S. champion. I just don't care. And I don't hate Kalisto or Ryback. I just don't like the storyline. There's been nothing there. So that's my pick. Kalisto retaining. Greg, what do you got?
This whole thing's been so ass backwards because, man, Kalisto was amazing in that ladder match she was in last. I mean, they did it last time, and Kalisto he stole the show. So it's, you know, you don't understand where they're coming from with this. Why wouldn't you put Kalisto? Why wouldn't you make the United States Championship a multi-person ladder match as opposed to the Intercontinental Champion? That blows my mind that they did it that way, and I don't understand it. But that being said, I like Ryback more than most, I would say, but it's just it's just so confusing that they went this route, the one-on-one for the U.S. title, Ryback and Kalisto. It's not going to be good. And I wish there could be a way that I would say that it would be good, but it's going to be quick. It's going to be over quick. Ryback is probably going to win, and there won't be any good reason for it. I mean, I don't know. Ryback wins. I don't give a shit.
Nice. Harmon, what do you think?
I think this match has the potential to be horrible. Kalisto can get a little botchy sometimes. Ryback I just don't like the guy. I think he's probably the guy backstage just kissing ass, like nose so far up Vince's ass all the time. But he's trying to pull off this heel turn. He's going to be a bad guy. I think he wins. I think that he licks enough assholes. He's going to get the shot. So.
That's a visual right there. Nice.
You got the Usos versus.
Oh, hold on, real quick. First, we got to take a little trip to Dave's corner. Dave's got a really funny Kalisto Ryback thing. Dave says it's becoming apparent that Kalisto is becoming this generation's Rey Mysterio, at least in terms of branding and international appeal. Not so much for his in-ring work. This match can go anywhere from awful to mildly good.
Oh.
I'll give Ryback some credit. He's adding some new moves to his arsenal, including the CM Punk knee in the corner. How ironic. I feel that there will be at least 2 botched moves in this match. 2 out of 4 stars, says Dave Dyer. At least 2 botched. That is.
We're over under at 2, huh? Over under.
Apparently.
I know he's not here to rebuttal, but Kalisto is fucking amazing. Can we just stop and say that for a minute? I mean, to say that he's not anywhere near Rey Mysterio, that's kind of ridiculous because...
No, I think Kalisto has amazing moves, and he does amazing things in the ring. But I also think he gets his feet ahead of his brain sometimes and thinks this is going to be awesome, and then either he doesn't know how he was going to finish it, or the person he's wrestling with has no clue what the fuck is going to happen, and something ends up wrong. I mean, you saw he landed on his fucking dome there with Alberto Del Rio there one match. And
yeah. No, I agree. I'm right there with you guys. I think he's incredible, but yeah, he's kind of sloppy at some points. So I don't know.
He's like a really fast car that sometimes forgets to slow down to go into corners.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Yeah, there you
ends
go.
up off the track,
Yeah. All right, moving along. What'd you have for us, Harmon? Go for it.
The Usos versus the Dudley Boys, just because.
Oh my God, this has wet fart noise written all over it. My
the
God.
Usos are the most unimpressive tag team ever. How did they win Tag Team of the Year?
Oh, because the Slammies aren't real.
Oh,
oh my God.
I was under the impression those things meant something.
I thought so too, but apparently not.
Owen Hart had a bunch. I mean,
right? How stale? Sorry, Greg, go for it.
The Usos are kind of like a phenomenon because sometimes they put on matches and you're like, oh wow, the Usos are better than I thought they were, and then like 5 minutes later you're like, oh God, Jey Uso's dabbing. I fucking hate the Usos. So it's like they're such tryhards, and I can't. I don't know. This is another case of like I want to like the Usos. I don't.
Just blatantly don't. How stale has the Dudley's return been? Like, that lasted all of 2 minutes. That was just terrible.
Their tag team run is pretty stale, but I think they've got, if they become like Triple H's like bodyguards, kind of like they were on Raw the other day, I like them in that role a lot.
Sure.
Being the crusty old veterans that will just beat down on whoever. I like that.
I mean, that at least adds some substance.
Yeah.
That adds some substance.
There's a little storyline behind it, but
sure.
I mean, if they're not going to let them become tag team champions again, I mean, to hell with it, why?
Yeah. So, again, and I hate to keep saying it, but because it doesn't mean anything. I just don't care who wins in this match. I will say God, I don't know, just because they're the
I'm going with
face.
the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, I'll say the Usos just because they're the face, but I'd like to see the Dudleys win, and then it means something, I don't know. So, Greg, what do you got?
I'm gonna say Jey Uso gets impaled by a table, and the match has to be stopped, and the Dudleys win.
Is that what you think's gonna happen, or is that what you want to happen?
No comment. No comment.
Right. All right,
Dudleys win. That's what I'm going with.
You're going Dudleys. All right. Moving on. We got some weird Total Divas.
Oh, the 10 Divas tag match. The Total Divas. I didn't even bother writing the names down for who's on what team.
I got it right here.
Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde.
All right, so I got the participants. So we got Total Divas. We got Brie Bella, Paige, Natalya, Alicia Fox, and Eva Marie versus, like you said, Harmon, Bad and Blonde, Naomi, Tamina, Lana, Emma, and Summer Rae. What a clusterfuck of a match this is. Why is this here? Why is this on WrestleMania? This is nuts.
And it's
right,
so
guys?
fucked up, too, because they brought Eva Marie back thinking, yeah, we'll put her on the good guy team.
Why? She's a heel.
She's the biggest bitch ever. Nobody thinks she can wrestle. And they have her come in. They have her come in, and even the people on her team don't want her there.
Well, one, she's a heel on NXT. So why bring her up for the face team on the main roster? It just doesn't make sense. Like, it just infuriates me how poorly written and booked and just managed these gals are. And they don't know any better. They're just doing what they're told. So I don't blame Eva Marie for that. I blame her for being a shitty wrestler, but not for that. And, like, again, this doesn't mean anything. This is just...
And I read an article today that said that WWE Creative thought that they could pull her off as a babyface because they don't think that many people recognize her from NXT. What do they think their fans are?
It's just the worst. They're the worst. All this is to get footage for Total Divas. That's all this is.
And you have her come out and beat up Lana, who people love this chick, even though she's supposed to be, the bad guy.
Is this going to be Lana's debut?
It will
be debut in ring? That'll be interesting. That alone's kind of interesting, but other than that, I really don't care.
Yeah, the only other thing I want to see is I want to see Emma have a good showing because I want Emma to be on the main roster, and
she's great. Yeah, she's really good. I don't know who to pick. I'm gonna say Team Bad and Blonde. Sure.
Did it hurt?
No, I guess I don't know. Greg, who do you think?
Well, like I said earlier in the week to you, this is going to be a match of weird, pushy kicks. So if you ever watch bad Divas wrestling, you know it's bad when they can't really kick. They don't kick up. They kick and they push with their kicks, and it's really weird to explain, but Paige is good, Natalya's good, and then that's where it stops. So, I don't know.
Emma's good.
Emma, sorry. Apologies to Emma. I know you're listening, but
Foxy's not good.
I mean, it's not. Jeez. I'm gonna go with because WWE has a huge hard-on for Total Divas. I'm gonna go with Total Divas winning this match.
There you go.
I like your logic, but I'm gonna go with the Bad and the Blonde because Lana's on that team.
There we go.
All right, let's get to the kickoff show of the main card.
Dude, there's so many matches. I have no idea where to even start. What do you guys want to say?
There's gonna be 20 guys in a battle royal.
All right, the Andre the Giant. Which is, oh my God, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. 20-man Battle Royal for the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy. And that's it. No promised title, anything.
The thing that sucks about this is this year there's 20 men in it. Last year there was 30, and one of them was an NXT guy who had to win matches to get in, and it was Hideo
Yep.
Itami. There's none of that this year.
Yeah.
Just 20 guys. And I just wrote down one name.
What do you got?
Braun Strowman.
You think
Strong Roman.
Strong Broman, the new face of sex? That's a shout out to the other Smart and Mark guys. They use that all the time, and they also use call a spade, so I used that earlier as a little shout out to them, little homage. Let's see. I will announce. Well, I'm going to share with you guys the list of guys who are already announced for this match.
I'm
This
going
is
to show you the list of guys that I don't give a shit about. Go ahead, read off.
I bet it's going to be the same list.
Cool.
This is the who's who of the lower card. Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, and Bo Dallas, all social outcasts. Big Show, Kane, Tyler Breeze, Goldust, R-Truth, Darren Young, Mark Henry, Connor, Victor of the Ascension, Jack Swagger, Fandango, and Damian Sandow.
Hey,
wow.
Fandango and Damian Sandow. Where have those guys been?
Talk about star power in this match.
I'm changing my winner right now.
Yeah, you going Fandango?
Nope. Mark Henry.
Oh.
Stop it. Stop it.
He's in Texas. It's his home state.
Oh,
He wants to retire. He just wants to be done with this. I know he does. At his age, with this kind of writing, he just wants to be done. Let me go out a winner.
I'm going to say it's one of the social outcasts. I'm going to say that it comes down to, like, all four of them, and then, like, somehow, like, Heath Slater or Curtis Axel or something does something, like, a little funny, a little shady to, like, eliminate the other two guys. Like, maybe they're all like, oh, hey, let's all jump over the top rope together and win it together, and, like, one of them hangs back. Like, Axel, like, hangs back and, like, you know, fakes an over the top or something and hangs back and ends up winning it. So I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty, very like monumental. So, Greg, what do you think?
To be honest with you, I was gonna say Mark Henry, but
Harmon made it sound so terrible.
No, he made the same points that I was gonna make, but I don't want to. I want to go a different way, and I'm going to say that since they used to bill him as Andre the Giant's son, Big Show is going back to back this year. Big Show is going to it again, and everybody is going to be mad.
Oh, that sounds like the worst idea ever.
Well, sign me up for creative.
Nice. All right. Shit. I don't know if Dave had any thoughts on this. Let me see. I doubt it.
I don't blame him if he didn't.
Yeah, he definitely did not. So we are going to move right along. Who do we have next here? Where do you guys want to take this?
AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho.
Excellent. Let's go right there. Harmon, how do you feel about this?
I think it's one of the matches that's, they actually built up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they put on a good match, a good 15, 20 minutes maybe, as long as Jericho's wind holds out. And, AJ Styles is going to win. But it's gonna be a good back and forth match. I don't know how many more of these Chris Jericho has in him. So,
yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a good match. It's funny that you said that this is one of the matches that they've done a pretty good job building, but it's also one of the matches that they've almost worn out because they've fought each other so many times in one-on-one competition. In the build to this, where it's just like, oh, okay, we're just gonna see this match again. Hopefully and I'm sure that they will, turn it up for Mania. But like you said, how much more can Jericho do? I mean, he just kind of does the hits nowadays and doesn't really do anything spectacular. He seems to be that kind of stepping stone for new guys. Obviously, a couple years back, with Fandango taking the win over Jericho, which I recently watched. It was pretty unimpressive. I didn't think it was a great match, and I'm a Fandango fan. He's a hometown boy for us. We like him, but I don't know. I thought it was a weird match. So hopefully Jericho can put over Styles in a little bit more, I don't know, glamorous way, I guess. I think Styles will have a really good showing. The guy's pretty solid. So, Greg, what about you?
I think this is going to be a fantastic match. I think it's going to be top three, I'm going to say, of the night. That being said, I think Styles is going to take this because Jericho's job right now is to put people over. Styles needs to be put over. I think he's going to be getting a pretty good push in the next couple of years. So I'm going to go with Styles. I think it's going to be a really high-flying and technical match. I think both these guys are capable of putting on a great show. So I think that's what we're going to get out of these two.
Perfect. Let's go quickly to Dave's corner. Dave's got Jericho versus Styles, a possible show stealer, in my opinion. The crowd loves this feud, and I don't blame them. The only worry I have is that they need to find some nuances in ring that they haven't done in their previous matches. But I think they find it. At worst, it will be a 3-star match. At best, a possible match of the year candidate. I look forward to this one. I think we're kind of all right in that area with you, Dave. Man. Let's see. Where do you guys want to go next? You want to go? You want to go IC title match?
Yeah.
Ladder match. All right.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental title match. Kevin Owens, your boy Harmon, defending versus Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, The Miz, and Stardust. Wow. This is fucking crazy. Completely unnecessary for all these participants. I would have liked it to maybe have been a one-on-one with Kevin Owens and either Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, or Kevin Owens, Zack Ryder would have been fine if he actually built it. If he actually had Zack Ryder enter the picture, I don't know, maybe more than a week ago. So,
he's filling in for Neville because this was Neville's spot.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, that still doesn't give me a reason why Sin Cara's in this match, but
yeah, or Miz or Stardust. As much as I love Stardust, but it's just like, what the fuck's he have to do with this? He doesn't have anything to do with this. I don't know.
They definitely should have gone one-on-one. Owens, Zayn, there was a story there. It would have been great. And then the multi-person match for the United States title. I mean, that would have been fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that. So, and they could have built this Zayn Owens thing. I mean, they already had the foundation, and then Zayn came into the Rumble and chased Owens and eliminated him, right? I believe. Yeah, right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think. And then, they had all this stuff, and then they were just like, let's just add, 6 other guys. I don't know, man. Again, and I don't know why it has to be a ladder match either. I don't understand why they got to throw in a ladder match. It just doesn't make any sense.
Because this is going to be the new thing. Every year they're going to have a ladder match at Mania for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, but that's such a cop-out. It's such a devaluing thing to the IC belt. The IC belt or the IC championship was the workers' championship. It was the mid-level guy, the guy that was primed to be the next champ, the guy that could work in the ring. And now it's we're just gonna make it a ladder match championship.
It's the title. It is. That's what it is. It's the mid-card title now.
It's the mid-card ladder match title. Thank you, Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, way to ruin it, guys.
Yeah. So, I think that Kevin Owens retains. I don't think he's giving this thing up anytime soon, unless it's to Sami Zayn down the road somewhere. But I don't see Zayn like winning it here. I don't see Ziggler winning it here again for the 100th time. I definitely don't see Ryder, Sin Cara, Miz, or Stardust even coming close to winning it. So I say Kevin Owens retains. Harmon, what about you? Harmon, anything out of you?
Yeah, I also think that KO retains. I think Ziggler's going to come close. They're going to tease Sami Zayn, getting a shot at it, but I'm sticking with KO. I think, Zack Ryder might get a little pop out of this. Maybe he'll get entrance music, maybe. Who knows?
Nice. Greg, first tell me how many super kicks are going to be in this match, and then tell me your thoughts on who do you think's coming out of it.
Super kicks. I'm going to say 10.
From Dolph Ziggler.
No, from everybody.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All together. This is going to be a total spot fest, which is why they're making a ladder match. We're going to say "oh" a lot and very loudly, and that's it. Oh, and I'd like to play contrarian and disagree with you guys, but I don't see anybody in this match that's going to take the IC title from Owens. So Owens retains.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we're all on the same page. Let's see what Mr. Dave Dyer has to say. Dave says, can this title be fought for at WrestleMania in any other match than a fucking ladder match? I liked the match a year ago. It's as if they said, well, we need the IC title at Mania. Let's do the ladder match again. So friggin' sad. On top of that, this match should only involve Owens, Ziggler, and Zayn. Adding Miz, Ryder, Sin Cara, and Stardust makes this a clusterfuck. It was only Owens, Zayn... Oh, if was only Owens, Zayn, and Ziggler, I'd say this match could steal the show. With 7 involved, it will be a 2 out of 4-star match. I don't know. I think that's pretty low, Dave. But
yeah,
I think that's a low star rating, Dave Dyer. But
yeah, because
but
this match only has one guy that can't wrestle, and that's the Miz. So
that's true. Miz is terrible. He's awful. He's the worst. Oh man. All right. Where do you guys want to go next? You guys want to go tag team?
Yep. This is going to be a 3-on-4 handicap match, so it's not even going to be a tag team match, I don't think.
Oh right. Yeah, that's weird. But it's for the belts, though. No. Is it not?
No.
Oh, that's weird. Jeez.
No, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's for the belts.
Right? It's got to be. Why wouldn't it be? It's WrestleMania. The strap's got to be on the line.
According to Wikipedia, it's not for the belts. It's just a 3-on-4 handicap match.
What are they doing? Anyway, well.
What do you think this is? Night of Champions? Every belt has to be defended?
Well, it's WrestleMania. I mean, it should be defended. Come on. Well, that's a bummer that it's not, if it's not. New Day, Big E, Kofi, and Xavier Woods versus the League of Nations, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, and my favorite, King Barrett. I think New Day wins, I guess. I guess the championship kind of makes a difference. If it's for the belts, I say New Day retains. But if it's not, and it's just a 3-on-4 handicap match, like Wikipedia says, I could definitely see League of Nations winning and just like beating New Day down. Although New Day's so hot right now, like they gotta have a WrestleMania moment, or something. When you look back at WrestleMania, like I don't know, like it's just not one of those things like that they should lose. It's a big stage. New Day, with all the work that they've put in this year, they should win. So I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna go New Day, winning, possibly retaining if it's for the belt. We don't know. Harmon, what do you think?
I think that this match is going to have a run-in. I
Ooh.
think you'll see The Rock come out and give New Day an assist because they're, one man down, and New Day's ready for a big face turn. So I have New Day winning, but with an assist from The Rock.
Nice. I like that. Greg, what do you think?
That is that's something that I hadn't considered, but that would make sense. Unless he does something by himself, that would be a good spot for him to run in. That being said, I feel like this. I have some good feelings about this rivalry and some bad feelings about this rivalry. There's a lot of things that I feel like have been this rivalry has been built well. However, I don't like that the League of Nations has started to be goofy, because it's like, that's not your thing. That is New Day's thing, is that they're goofy and they're funny, and that is what they're supposed to do. You guys are just supposed to be assholes and and heels, and they're trying to be funny, and that's pissing me off. I was behind this rivalry until League of Nations started to try to match New Day in being funny, and then that I just felt like that was stupid, and so that's gonna ruin the psychology of this match that I thought that they had going into it. I think League of Nations, whether or not the titles are on the line, I think League of Nations is going to win this match. New Day is great. I love New Day. I just something's gonna happen for them to do something different. So I feel like losing the titles to League of Nations is gonna do that for them, and so I think League of Nations is gonna take this.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I could see them. I think they're due to drop the belts and then be in the chase for it, I guess. Remember, you just reminded me. Remember when they lost the belts to what the hell, Darren Young and Titus? What was their tag team name again? That's how irrelevant they're.
Prime time.
There it is. I could not even think of it. That's how irrelevant that was. They lost it for like a week. Yeah, that was weird. Awkward. Let's see what Dave's got to say. Dave says this will be entertaining thanks to New Day, but the in-ring action will be nothing great, especially from the League of Nations, who apparently believe that slow, steady, and boring, especially Alberto Del Rio in his list of 1,000 lame-ass moves, provides great matches. 2 out of 4 stars again. Dave is just destroying these matches here. Yeah, I mean, kind of on the same par as a lot of us. Like, we'll see. We'll see if the titles are up for grabs. I'm not sure. All right, moving on. Harmon, where do you want to go in this?
Let's go on with the ladies.
Ooh, ladies. What's going on, ladies? That was not creepy at all. Triple threat match for the Divas title, soon to be the women's title. I don't know if you guys saw that. They're talking about rebranding it, maybe. Somebody posted an article today, someone in our tight-knit wrestling group, that they're thinking about rebranding the title to not be a Divas championship. So that'll be nice. So anyway, we got Charlotte defending the Divas championship with Daddy Ric Flair versus Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. So, triple threat match for the Divas Championship. This is like an NXT match. This is fantastic. I have little to no complaints really about this. I think this match will be fantastic. I would like to see maybe less of Ric Flair, but he does add that element of like, I know earlier we said like, managers, managers would be cool. That, that's kind of what he is right now. He's her manager, and I kind of dig it. He's out there, the outside interference presence, some shady Flair tactics. I think Sasha Banks takes this championship. I think this is her moment. I think it. Some people might argue it's a little soon, but I say why not? She's proven in the ring. The crowd fucking loves her. She's over big time. She can talk. She's got it all. She's got it going on. I say she is our new women's champion, and I think it'd be a good kind of jumping off point too if they want to rebrand that championship. That she's like, she wants to change it to like a wrestlers championship instead of a divas championship. So I don't know. Your thoughts, Greg? Why don't you go first this time?
You know what? First of all, I want to address the Ric Flair in the room.
Sure.
And this is why,
styling and profiling.
This is why we all hate each other as wrestling fans. We're complaining, and I'm right there with you, that Ric Flair is involved in something. And Ric Flair
I know.
And we're such assholes because
I know, isn't that crazy?
About him being involved. Whereas, like, we should be like, oh my god, Ric Flair is freaking involved in something. I love it. But I'm not even disagreeing with you on your feelings toward him. It's just you have this uneasy feeling like he doesn't need to be there. Because I think that Charlotte is great in the ring, and she has gotten so much better on the mic as a heel. It's blown my mind. And my theory is that she just talks slower, which is weird. But I think that that's why she's gotten better on the mic. And I don't feel like she needs to use the crutch of I am Ric Flair's daughter as much as she does, and I make that joke constantly that I'm just like, oh, did you know that Charlotte is Ric Flair's daughter? Because it just seems to be brought up every second that she's on the screen, and she doesn't need it. And I think her work in the ring speaks for itself. Moving on from that, Becky Lynch is awesome. Sasha Banks is my favorite diva. I hate the word diva. My favorite women's wrestler ever. And I think and I hope that Sasha Banks takes this at WrestleMania and becomes a new Divas champion, hopefully the new women's champion. And that's it. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it other than that. I mean, there's not much I can say that more about Sasha and Becky that everyone else has said. They're both great. They both have it, whatever it is, and this is going to be a great match. Great match. And I saw something the other day, I think it was a tweet that said Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte is your best built rivalry or storyline going into WrestleMania, and that's 100% true. And then they ended that tweet with, there's your Divas Revolution. And I thought that was spot on 100%. And I think this is going to be a great match. Sasha's going to win it. Finally take her place as the great performer she is, and that's it. Sasha.
Yeah, no, man, I agree, and I didn't mean to really leave out Becky Lynch in my little spiel. She's fantastic. I kind of agree with you. I really want Sasha to go over here and get her moment. So, Harmon, what about you? What are you thinking on this match?
Yeah, I agree with Greg. It's just Charlotte has gotten 100 times better since turning heel. It really fits her. Becky Lynch is just the consummate babyface, and Sasha, she's that heel that you want to cheer for. You know, she's the Rock, the Stone Cold. You know, the person on the edge. You know, and whoever wins, Charlotte could even retain for all I care. But as long as they put on, they give them 15 to 20 minutes, let him really work in the ring. And if Becky Lynch could finally get some revenge on Ric Flair by beating his ass a little bit, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has cost her numerous times now. So I think she really needs to. Anytime she steps outside the ring and runs around the apron, she has to, kick some ass and
Kick some ass.
and throw one right in the old mailbox.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Perfect. All right, where do you guys want to go to next? What do we got here? What do we have left? We are flying through this. You want to go?
The thing is, like these three matches that are left, I'm not sure how you put them together, because if you had any of these matches right in a row, I think the crowd would be
exhausted.
Yeah. So I
well,
think we're gonna see maybe one of those matches we already talked about stuck in between some of these.
Yeah.
They're going to be. These are the three high points of the night.
Sure. Oh yeah, totally. This is in no kind of order, but let's go Lesnar Ambrose next. You guys want to do that?
Yep.
All right. Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose in a street fight. Is that
no holds barred street fight?
Wowee. I have no. I don't want to say shame, but I have no. I made a statement like probably 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago now. Probably 2 years ago. Sounds more like it. I said to our good buddy Dustin Sun, big shout out to Dustin, because Dustin did not, and I still don't think, likes Dean Ambrose. I have no idea. I know he's a big Roman Reigns fan. But I had this like dream like 2 years ago, and this is kind of going off on a little tangent here. But I had this weird dream that like my dad like took over WWE somehow, like inherited it from Vince or whatever. But he didn't really know anything about like the wrestlers, and he asked me who Dean Ambrose was, and I said, Dean Ambrose, he's the future of your company, and this has all come like perfectly around to that dream I had, and I was telling Dustin this like 2 years ago, and he just totally disagreed, and I call him, he's just insane that he didn't see the writing on the wall, like how big of a star Dean Ambrose has become, and how even bigger of a star he will become. The guy is just money, good in the ring, good on the mic, just a really appealing, interesting character that you can relate to. He's kind of like that everyman doing whatever it takes to kind of win. Not a huge guy, but big enough to be world champion. But then again, he's running into a brick wall that is Brock Lesnar. I don't really know who's going to take this one. I think it was very smart that, kind of like what you said earlier, Harmon, about Asuka being like the Brock Lesnar of the NXT Women's Division. You can't book Lesnar to lose clean, ever. Like, he's just built up as this beast, this monster. So it was smart to make this match a no-holds-barred like street fight, because now Ambrose, it's right in his right in his kind of home turf, so to speak. So he can use weapons to really chop Lesnar down. So I don't think it's crazy that Ambrose takes this. I really want Ambrose to win this and establish himself as like top 3 in the company. I really want that. So I'm gonna say Ambrose, but I will be disappointed and heartbroken when Lesnar smashes him through like 9 announce tables. So, Harmon, what do you think?
I think this is another one of those matches where we're gonna have outside interference, but it'll be completely legal because it's a no-holds-barred street fight. I think you might be seeing, Mick Foley do something, because he'll be there. Maybe Stone Cold will drop a stunner on Brock while, nobody's looking.
Yeah. The Wyatts are going to get involved in
The
this match.
Wyatts could get involved. Yeah, Bray could
Yeah.
come out and start screwing with him.
He's had history with both of these guys, so you never know.
Yeah, I just don't see whatever happens. It won't be clean. If I think Ambrose is going to lose, but in order for that to happen, you have to have some kind of outside interference, or Dean really does fire up that chainsaw and like lops off a limb or something for Brock. But
Oh my God.
that'd be hilarious. He fires it up and he's like, oh wow, there's a chain still on this. This was a big mistake.
Yeah, well, I gotta follow through with this now.
Yeah, I can't stop now.
Gregulator, what are you thinking on this one?
I think two things. I think that Dean Ambrose used to have gross, bloody matches, so you're going to get a kind of taste of that in this match. I think that's going to happen, and then I agree with you guys on the Wyatts. Wyatts will definitely come out during this match. They are not booked anywhere else on this card, which another thing that blows my mind. And they will come out during this match. I think it will end up being no contest and setting up kind of a Ambrose Lesnar versus the Wyatts feud, which is kind of a bummer because I feel like there should be a winner, and I agree with John where it should be it should be Ambrose just to elevate him that much higher. And I also agree with John that I've had conversations personally with Dustin about Dean Ambrose where I said that he will be a future champion, and I got a roll of the eyes, and you know what, he kind of got to me a little bit.
Yeah, Dustin's son. We're calling you out, Dustin's son.
Yeah, he's got no idea, but his ears are ringing right now. But yeah, so I'm going no contest on this, on a street fight, which really doesn't make sense, but WWE writing doesn't really make sense right now. So
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Dustin's son doesn't realize that John has an uncanny knack for picking talent months after their debut. He did it with John Cena. I can remember we were playing Road to WrestleMania like on the Nintendo 64, and he said, "This John Cena guy, he's gonna be something." And I was like, "No, he's wearing a fucking Bears jersey and a chain. He's not doing shit."
The guy that raps? No way.
Yeah. I was like, "No, you don't know what you're talking about." You're like, "Yeah, no, I don't know. He's got something there," and well, I've really eaten that.
I will say though, I'm not 100% accurate all the time. I've said it many times in this podcast. I did think Kurt Angle was going to be a pile of shit, but he turned out to be one of the best of all time. So yeah, so there's that. So I am like 2 for 3.
I probably talked you into it though, because we did see him at that house show together.
Yeah, and he was pretty terrible.
Yeah,
but we love Kurt Angle, so he he's one of the best of all time. So let's move on. Well, actually, no, we're going to take a trip to Dave's corner. Dave's got some interesting thoughts on this. Let's see. The rating for this match will go solely on how much punishment Dean Ambrose can take. Ambrose is the new Mick Foley. I think he will be the guy for this generation that just gets the living shit kicked out of him until it's his time to win the WWE title, and will love him all the more for it because of how many times he had his ass handed to him before winning it. Lesnar definitely wins to keep his beast mode intact, while Ambrose will gain even more love and sympathy from the WWE audience by having the living shit knocked out of him. 3 out of 4 stars, says Dave. So Dave's going Lesnar, and Harmon, did you say Lesnar or did you say Ambrose?
I said Ambrose.
You said Ambrose, and I said Ambrose, and Greg, you said Ambrose, so...
I said no contest.
Oh, you said no contest. You said no contest.
Yeah,
all right.
And I said Dean Ambrose, but only Dean Ambrose if somebody interferes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm assuming that the main event will be for the championship. So you guys want to do Taker Shane next?
Yeah.
All right. Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. The stipulation. Okay, this is kind of wild. If Shane wins, he gets control of Monday Night Raw, and in turn, Undertaker would lose. Therefore, this being his last WrestleMania. Which, okay, can we just break this down for 2 seconds? None of that makes any sense. So, if Shane wins, he gets control of Monday Night Raw. Vince has said that, Undertaker, if you lose, this is your last WrestleMania. Well, he wouldn't have the decision to make, like, because he wouldn't be in charge of... I guess he wouldn't be in charge of Raw, so maybe he could just wrestle on Raw, but I guess Vince is still in charge of Mania. I don't know. None of this like really adds up. It's an interesting story, but none of it really adds up to really anything. I was really pumped to see Shane return, but the build of the last couple weeks has been kind of weird. I feel like Shane's been kind of exposed a little bit, definitely showing his rust on the mic. And then Harmon, I know how you love his punches, so his working punch has been really exposed how poor that is. But Monday night, him going off the top rope was pretty phenomenal, I thought. And if that's any kind of indication as to what's in store for Mania, I'm pretty excited about that. So, oh man, there's so many things that can happen in the outcome of this. I really don't know who's going to win. I think I've told you kind of both, off air, my idea for this, so I'll just say it. My idea is for Sting to get involved, cost Undertaker the match. I guess maybe that's Undertaker's last Mania, but, it's a year away. Things could change. Shane gets control of Raw. He runs it for a bit. Sting and Taker have a match, a slow burn, a slow build up to Survivor Series where they finally square off. And then if Undertaker wants to retire, then that's fine with me because he'll retire at Survivor Series where it all began. So that's kind of my spiel on it. Harmon, what do you think?
I think that Shane wins this match. I heard a theory the other day from a truck driver at my job who listens to our podcast, who had a pretty good theory, thinking that Steph and Triple H are going to take some time off, step away for a little bit, take a vacation, and this could be Shane's, way to take over for a little while. But it's going to be a Hell in a Cell. It's going to be entertaining. You're going to see some, Shane jump off some stuff, and the Undertaker, do all of his classic moves. I think, he's going to walk the ropes. He's going to do the sit up. He's going to roll the eyes back and stick his tongue out and do all the great old Undertaker moves. And it's going to be a good match. It could be horrible, with Shane and his little girl punches.
Yeah, you love those. You love those.
Yeah, he throws them way too fast. He throws them in the corner. Doesn't give the Undertaker any time to react to them. They're just absolute garbage. He just needs to stop doing it, especially against the best striker in the WWE. As they call the Undertaker all the time.
Yeah, like repetitively. Yeah.
Pure striker.
Pure striker. Pure striker. Yeah.
Pure striker.
Oh my God, Greg! Before I get to you, I just want to read Dave's, and then we'll finish up with you on this. So Dave Dyer says, it offends me that one of Undertaker's final matches, let's face it, there's not many left, is against a McMahon. I don't care how excited I was to see Shane return, and I don't care if he is, in fact, or in fact has crazy washboard abs thanks to his kickboxing training. This match shouldn't be happening. The only way this match is entertaining is if Shane gets thrown off the top of the cage, Foley style, through a table, and in that, I would feel horrible for Shane. Dude has 3 kids and a wife, but I believe he's fucking crazy enough to try it. The stipulation of this match is interesting, but I don't see this, or I don't think this is the year Taker walks away. This could easily be anywhere from 0 to 3 stars, so wide range there for ranking for Dave. Greg, what do you think about this match?
Oh my God. I just at first I want to address Dave's
Yes.
just just it just shows how like jaded wrestling fans can be. How can you not be friggin' pumped for this match? There is a 10% chance Shane McMahon will die.
I said that today. I told somebody that today that I think that Shane McMahon might die this weekend.
Might die.
And they were like, haha, that's funny. And I'm like, no, like in real life. Like
He has already done the elbow through the through the announce table, so that's already out the window. So I don't even know what he's going to do. He's going to jump off of something that he shouldn't. This is going to be a great match. Shane McMahon is, yes, Undertaker is facing Shane McMahon, and yes, it's a McMahon, but it's not Vince, and it's not Linda, and it's not Stephanie. It's Shane. Shane has always put on a great show because Shane has always felt like he's had something to prove, which, let's be honest, is something that has been missing from almost every performer in the WWE right now. None of them have anything like they feel like they need to prove because they don't feel like they have anything to lose, which is what made the Attitude Era so great, is because they were all fighting for their life, fighting for their job, fighting for their livelihood, and Shane was involved with that Attitude Era. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a great match. We're all going to be interested. We're all going to be on the edge of our seats. There are going to be crazy-ass moments in this match. And as far as the outcome, if Undertaker was going to win this match, then they would have made it a retirement match. They made it a stipulation of Undertaker loses, he doesn't compete at WrestleMania anymore. Makes total sense to end Undertaker's career at Survivor Series, like John said. So I think that it's very, very possible that Shane McMahon wins this match. Undertaker goes on to a retirement match at Survivor Series. I honestly don't know who that's going to be against at this point. It makes sense story-wise to have Shane win it because they can continue on with a story after. If Undertaker wins, what do they do? I mean, Reigns is going to win the championship, and then the Authority is going to come out the next night, and he's going to have to face whoever, and the Authority... We don't realize this really because you don't think about it anymore like you used to. The Authority storyline has been going on for so long. It needs to end. And the only way it ends is Shane winning at WrestleMania. So that is my prediction. Shane wins at WrestleMania in a fantastic 4-star match. It will be the match of the night.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Yeah, you and Dave are just butting heads tonight.
I wish you would see. I love Dave. I think he's so. I think Dave is great, obviously, but I really wish he was here because.
Yeah, I know. I do too. Yeah. Oh man. All right, fellas. Man, like that whole match. Everything's so interesting about it. And then like if Taker does win and does have another Mania, it's like who do you send him off with? Like who do you make his last WrestleMania with? If you're gonna send him off at Mania, and it's not this Mania, who is it with? Like, is Sting done or is he not done? Do you drag that out for another year?
It's been really apparent that they are running out of people for him to face. I mean, he's already lost. What
Right.
more is there for him to do? Face Cena, maybe? But he could do that at Survivor Series.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that it would be a real shame if we didn't get a Sting Taker something. It doesn't have to be a match if Sting can't go. If Sting really is retired, even though I've heard and read like mixed you know reports on that. That that he still might want to go. He might be fine. If he's fine, even though it's like 10 years too late, uh, I still kind of want to see that match just for the allure of it. Uh, at least give us a Sting Taker stare down. At least something. Fuck, I don't even care. Maybe just maybe a tag team match. Maybe something at Survivor Series. I don't know, but I want to see Sting and Taker in the same ring before they both call it quits. I think that as wrestling fans, we deserve that. And I'm not trying to sound like a needy wrestling fan. I know these guys have given us their lives and, everything, but it's like, fuck, man, this is what we want, and it's just insane to not creatively make that happen. So anyway, and another, I think somebody mentioned it earlier, Balor would be another great opponent to send Taker off with. Both have awesome entrances. The Demon, the Dead Man comparisons. It's just too perfect to keep it not from keep it from happening. So, all right, fellas, main event time. WrestleMania 32 main event, allegedly. Roman Reigns challenging Triple H for the WWE Heavyweight title. Oh, man. Ooh, goodness sakes. Greg, we'll start with Greg this time. What do you think about this match?
I will always love Triple H. So anything that Triple H is involved with will get me excited. So I'm excited that Triple H is the WWE champion and is in the main event at WrestleMania. However, I try my hardest to defend Roman Reigns, and it's really not his fault for all the shit he takes. It really is circumstantial. But he is going to win at WrestleMania, and nobody is going to be happy. Like I said before, nobody is going to be happy except his family. Um, it doesn't do anybody any good for him to win at WrestleMania. It really doesn't. Uh, and I'm not saying that he could never be WWE champion, and that is not okay. It's just the circumstances around it. People were happy that people were behind it when he won earlier this year because the whole thing with Vince, he took down Vince, and the crowd was finally behind him. And then they did that whole weird shit with Sheamus, and it just got out of control where the crowd flipped once again on to Roman Reigns. I don't know how anybody thought that putting Triple H versus Roman Reigns in together was going to get cheers for Roman Reigns. That wasn't going to happen ever. I'm not super excited for this match. The crowd is going to be 100% behind Triple H. I really hope that they find a way to surprise us with this match. I really do, but from the beginning, the Roman Reigns storyline has not been surprising. It's gone exactly as you thought it was going to go. Royal Rumble went exactly as we all thought it was going to go, and WrestleMania is going to go like we think it's going to go. Roman Reigns is going to win. We're going to be expected to care, and we're not.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'll say real quick. I can't understand how they don't see the writing on the wall. Like how they're just like blindly going like, yeah, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. I don't
Fun.
understand. I have more to say, but I'll let Harmon hasn't
These are the people
seen
that
it in a
brought
while.
out.
So
These are the people that brought out Eva Marie this week, thinking we were going to be happy about it. So
I know. Harmon, what do you think about this match?
I think that it's going to be a good match. I mean, yeah, the lead up to it was garbage, and they don't know how to book Roman Reigns correctly. I don't know if there is a correct way to book Roman Reigns, and I think it has to be as a heel. It has to be as a, fuck you audience, I do what I want kind of heel. Um, I hope that Triple H retains the title. I really liked his match at Roadblock. He still has it. He can still uh, put on a great show, tell a story in a ring. He's got all the right psychology. He gets the baby face up and then beats him back down, and just classic wrestling.
Yeah.
He's in amazing shape right now. He's all tanned up and ripped, and
Yeah.
um, and if he stays champion, that means he'll still be around, and uh, Shane probably didn't win. I just think there's a better option at heavyweight champion besides Roman Reigns. It's just, this is like a year and a half in the making that nobody wants him to be champion. People were behind him a little bit at tables, ladders, and chairs when he beat up Triple H. He had the crowd for that minute, and then he showed back up on Raw, smiling and giggling and being aw shucks buddy to Dean Ambrose, and he's just not what the people want, and the more that they try to shove it down the people's throat, the more people are going to hate it. It's it's going to be the flagship match. I mean, there might be something that happens. Last year we had the cash in. This year there is nobody with a briefcase to cash in to save us.
Right.
But you never know. It's Mania. Something can happen.
Yeah, something could happen. Before I dive into my spiel, I'll read Dave's. Dave's got kind of a long one. I'll try to speed through it. He says, "Great, the guy we can't get rid of versus the guy no one wants as champion for the WWE title. Why? Because fuck you. That's why." This one match encapsulates everything that is wrong with WWE. The right-hand man should not be holding the title. The guy who's getting X-Pac heat should not win the title. This is solely Vince McMahon flipping off the crowd saying, "My show, my champion." There's no stopping it. This will be Reigns' coronation as the face of the WWE, whether we like it or not. Hell, Triple H did the patented "you'll never win this title" while holding the belt up to Reigns' face, which we all know means Reigns is going to win. The match will be slow, plodding, full of distractions from outside the ring, and shitty as hell. At best, a 2-star match. Wow, Dave. The only way this match would be interesting is if Cena runs in, smacks Reigns with the title, and goes heel. Seriously, that's the only way this works for me. So, wow, high standards from Dave Dyer. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I kind of agree with you, Harmon. I think it'll be a pretty good match. Like you said, Triple H is looking pretty good. He had a really good match with Ambrose on Roadblock, and like I've said before, I don't see anything wrong. I'm sorry. What'd you say there, Greg? All right.
Wasn't me.
Oh, sorry. I thought. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I've never thought that Reigns is bad in the ring. I think Reigns is perfectly fine in the ring. It's just that he kind of just can't really talk too well on the mic. But I think the match will be fine. But we just won't get the outcome that we want. It's kind of like pick the lesser of two evils. I don't think that really anybody wants Roman Reigns, and at the same time, we'll kind of settle for Triple H as champ, even though we kind of all want Dean Ambrose or some other alternative like a Lesnar or even like a Bray Wyatt or something. But it just, man, they are just heading in the wrong direction with Reigns, and unfortunately, I feel like it's gonna not ruin his career, but it's just off to such a bad start as a singles competitor with him. And again, I agree with you, Greg. I don't think it's his fault. To some extent, it is. I mean, you got to work on your mic chops, man. But at the same time, if the boss tells you to say something, you got to say it, especially if it's Vince McMahon. So I don't know where that really leaves him. I agree. A heel run with
I gotta
him.
disagree with that. I mean, if you go back to the Attitude Era, I mean, there were definitely times that I'm sure that he wanted Stone Cold or The Rock to say something, and they were like, "No, my character would not say that."
Well,
Guys stood up for their character. CM Punk did it. He stood up for his character. He didn't want to do stuff, and he made it known. I think everybody is too scared of Vince.
yeah, but the difference between those guys and Roman Reigns is a homegrown guy. Like Steve Austin, well, Rock was kind of a homegrown guy too, but like Stone Cold and CM Punk, like those guys had years and years in other organizations where, and there was another alternative. You could go to WCW, go to ECW, because you go to other places and make just about as much money. Maybe not in ECW, obviously, but WCW. But I don't know, Reigns. I mean, I guess I agree with you a little bit. Like, sure, like, and that's why I said it is some of it is his fault. But I mean, at some point, you got to either be good on the mic or you're not gonna make it. I mean, that's what it takes nowadays to be the champ and the man in WWE. And if you can't talk on the mic, then you can't really represent the company very well. So I think it's something that Roman struggles with, and he's just getting called out for it week after week from really hardcore true wrestling fans like ourselves. I feel like kids love him, and that's all fine and good, but I don't think he's going to be taken seriously until he goes heel and just starts demolishing people for no reason and just shutting his mouth and beating the shit out of people. I don't think he goes. I don't think he gets over until he starts demolishing people that we kind of care about. If he turns on Dean Ambrose, then there's legit reason to boo him. Besides just like the X-Pac heat that Dave mentioned, like just booing him because he's terrible in the mic. Hell, if he were to turn on the Usos, I think that would be good, because then that would be like, oh shit, he's a heel now because he just turned on family and he turned on legit babyface tag team. So there's things that they can do with him to make him more appealing, but they just don't. Vince has this thing set in stone for him, and that's what they're gonna do. And kind of like Dave said, why? Fuck you. That's why. Like that's what Vince is basically going for with him. I agree with you guys. I think he wins. I think Reigns is your new champ, and it's gonna get ugly there at the end. I see trash being thrown in the ring, and I don't think anything is gonna be able to save it. And the harder you try to save it, the worse it's gonna get. You don't send The Rock in there again, like you did at the Rumble. Like, that's just embarrassing. I don't know. I don't know what you do besides turn him heel, and have him turn on somebody. So
yeah, I think a lot of has to do with his booking too. Like, when was the last time he lost a match?
Right. Yeah.
He wins more often than John Cena. And if anybody can lose matches and get bigger, get better reactions. I mean, look at Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens didn't win a series with John Cena.
Yeah.
He lost the championship to Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose has been beat plenty of times this year. They've they keep pretty much 50-50 booking on those guys, and they're still getting way over. You have Roman Reigns win every match, and nobody wants him.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, Triple H isn't helping either, because Triple H is obviously over, and Triple H is like, it's weird because Triple H is trying to play the heel, but he's being like the aggressor. Like on Raw, Reigns' music hits and he comes walking down the ramp, and Triple H doesn't like wait for him to get in the ring and then dive out and run away. Like, Triple H gets out of the ring and he runs at him and he squares off with Roman Reigns one-on-one, face-to-face. Like, that's not what your typical heel does. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so Triple H is basically being like the cooler of the two, and being like the veteran, and like just being like, oh, I'm like Attitude Era Triple H, and I'm just gonna fight you face on and destroy you. And then the whole breaking of the nose thing on the steps, like, that's cool. Like, that's what people like. That's what fans like you and I like. We're like, holy shit, Triple H destroyed Roman Reigns. That was fucking awesome. Like. So Triple H definitely isn't helping, and I think deep down inside, even though I think Triple H wants, Reigns to get over, I think Triple H is fucking loving this. I think Triple H is saying, I'm the champ, I'm the man, the crowd, I'm over again, I'm not getting booed in the Authority, like, the crowd's loving me right now in this feud. I think there's a little bit inside of him that is just eating it up.
But sure, that guy's got an ego as big as, Rhode Island.
Right. So.
And he gets it both ways too. He gets cheered in NXT as being, the architect of this fantastic brand, and then he gets, boos for being a good bad guy, but also cheered because he's still awesome on the main roster,
Right. Yeah. Oh man. So.
I mean, if I was Triple H, I'd be walking around with a sweatpants and a boner all day. Just be going, look at me.
Sweatpants. Ugh, weird. Oh, man. So that is your main event. I think did we all pick Roman to...
The main event. The main event is much like a boner and sweatpants.
Yeah, that's it, right? Oh, man.
Awkward.
So awkward. All right, well, before we wrap it up, I wanted to ask you guys, usually after Mania, there's some big things going down on... usually, like, the next night on Raw is a big night, and then the following ones are, people are making debuts, and then... so, in turn, with those debuts, I mean, we all know that, like, Bullet Club's coming at some point. Like we mentioned earlier, Nakamura's making his debut. Aries is making his debut. So NXT has got some guys, some new guys. Where do you guys think some of the moves are being made? Who's moving up from NXT to the main roster, and then in turn, who do you guys think is getting the axe on the main roster? Because they got to make some room, right? They have to. It just doesn't make sense to have all these guys. Greg, what do you think? What's your ideas for the coming weeks after Mania?
Okay, you ready for this?
Sure.
Monday night after WrestleMania, you will see the return of Kurt Angle.
Oh my God. Talk about boner and sweatpants. Can you imagine?
And you will see the debut of Balor Club.
Oh.
And not too long after that, you will see the release of, and I am sorry to see them go, Fandango, and I'm going to go ahead and say Damian Sandow. God, they've just been total nothings since they were pushed. So I'm sorry, but those two guys are gone. Kurt Angle returns. Balor Club debuts.
Yeah. All right, Harmon, what do you think?
I think you're gonna see Bayley coming up. I think Brie Bella is going to announce her retirement.
Yep.
She'll still be on Total Divas, but she's gonna go make little bearded babies with Daniel Bryan in a mud hut somewhere. I don't know. You're gonna see, some NXT guys come up. Balor Club. which is good because you're gonna have to do kind of a, it's like turning over, to the other page at NXT. You're gonna have to really start, thinking of some programs for some of these guys like Apollo Crews, like Baron Corbin, some of these other guys, Austin Aries. Really get them primed up to be the people in NXT. Same thing with the women's division in NXT. You're gonna have to start, doing some stuff with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, and maybe Alexa Bliss gets a shot again at the title. You're gonna have to make people relevant. This is gonna be a key time of year for that. So
Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna get the axe. I mean, Greg said Fandango and Sandow, but those guys are pretty good staples on the old main event and superstars circuit, which is also the home of Stardust most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zack Ryder's on there a lot.
Yeah. I think Darren Young gets the axe at some point. Maybe not. And again, this isn't like immediately after Mania or anything, but I think at some point, within the year, they start dropping guys, especially with all these acquisitions that they're making. So I think once the social outcast thing runs its course, I don't see any room for those guys anymore. As much as I love pretty much all of them, I don't see those guys sticking around for the long haul. I agree with Sandow, which is really too bad. I think the guy's super talented, but I think he's gone within the year. I don't know. It's a weird time. It's definitely seems to be a step up, but then you gotta think, man. You can't just interchange all this talent and then stick with the same bookers and writers. It's like you gotta at some point change it up internally and give these guys something to do, because you can't just change the talent and then write the same bullshit stories and have a different result. That's insanity. So I don't know. Dude, if Kurt Angle comes back, that would just make my socks go up and down. That would be incredible. I'm a huge Angle fan. Bullet Club, Balor Club, whatever, their debut, that's gonna be just completely badass. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. Swagger, where does Swagger lie? I think Swagger might get released at some point. That guy's Mr. Irrelevant nowadays, or at least just filler. There's definitely gonna be a shift in tiers here at some point. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this late night. And we ran a little long tonight. Obviously, there's 9 hours worth of wrestling this coming weekend. Actually, probably more than that. So, including the Hall of Fame and the NXT show and the pre-shows and the post-shows and the WrestleMania. There's so much wrestling going on. So it makes sense that our podcast was pretty long tonight. But thank you guys both for joining me. Greg, where can we find you on the old Twitter?
My Twitter machine is at Gregulator85.
Yeah, damn right it is.
You should change your name on Twitter to Semi-Regular Greg.
Semi-regular. I like that.
Semi-regular Greg.
People are going to be thinking that's about my poop, and that worries me.
No,
Yeah.
It's not about your poop. It's about how you come on this show. You're semi-regular on this show now.
There you go. Nice. Oh, man. Harmonious, where are you on the old Twitter?
At Harmon 316. Sometimes I write an article. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
You have to figure out when it is.
Nice. That's the little game we like to call good push, bad push. Oh, man. All right, and you guys can follow me at Johnny Fashion. You guys can follow the relatively new Twitter handle of this show at ISR2M Podcast. Follow our home base at smarkandmark_PW. Check out smarkandmark.com for all of our podcasts and some columns like Harmon just mentioned. He occasionally writes one. And then we got some other really talented columnists on there too that do some awesome writing. So check that out, smarkandmark.com. And what else? Anything else tonight?
Yeah. Johnny's been picking up some sweet giveaway stuff for Monday nights.
Some sweet swag, Raw giveaways.
Couple of sweet posters, some wristbands, a super cool pop vinyl that I want to win this week that I can't.
It's off limits to you and Greg. Both of you fuckers asked about it. Like, can I get this? Can I win this? No, you can't win it.
I asked. I automatically assumed that I couldn't.
Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely for.
I straight up asked. I'm like, unless I can win it. I mean, this.
No, it's definitely for fans of the show. All you guys got to do is I will tweet out the giveaway during Raw. I will usually hashtag Raw or hashtag Raw giveaway, and
you know what we're gonna have to do?
What's that?
We're gonna have to add a secret word in our podcast, and you have to tweet out this.
Ooh, I like it.
Because I'm really tired of these serial fucking game, giveaway grabbers.
Yeah, like professional giveaway guys. Yeah,
they're professional giveaway people.
Yeah, I don't like that either. You know what? If you guys have something on your profile about wrestling, that's usually a good indication that you'll be in the hunt. So it is random. I'm not saying I handpick it or anything, but I'm just saying, like, it'd be beneficial if you were into wrestling. I don't want to see some bullshit, like, I look at your profile and it's just like all your tweets are retweets just trying to win free shit. So if you guys are into wrestling...
It's random, but we can handpick it if we want, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's our fucking show. It's our giveaway. But anyway, yeah, this week we got a sweet page pop vinyl on the docket. So... that's going to be closing up here pretty soon, so we're going to pick a winner soon. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for joining me. Thanks for listening. And everybody enjoy Mania weekend, because it's going to be off the charts. Is it? I hope so. It's fucking Mania. It's Mania. It's going to be great.
I just
still
want to be
WrestleMania.
surprised. Just something needs to surprise me.
Yeah, what's that saying that, like, a bad day of fishing is better than a good day, or a good day at work? It's like, it's the same thing. It's still WrestleMania, guys. It's still WrestleMania weekend. Like, this thing could absolutely suck, and we're still watching WrestleMania together.
We're still going to be at Greg's eating nachos.
True.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's damn true. So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Peace out, y'all.
Later.
Bye.